I went to the University of Cincinnati. I started to get a reputation around Cincinnati. And people used to ask me to do speeches and stuff like that. He said, he's doing this at Procter & Gamble. Must be pretty good, because Procter & Gamble is a big company. So I went to the University of Cincinnati, and I said, whatever I'm doing sounds pretty good. Where in the world does it fit into the world of academics, you know? And they said, I said, I'd like to get maybe a doctorate in this. And they said, well, you can't get a doctorate in creativity, but go to the School of Management and tell them what you're doing, because it sounds like you're doing some innovative things in management, and maybe it'll work out. It did. I ended up a few years later running back and forth between P&G and the University of Cincinnati and got a doctorate in what was later called organizational behavior, and I wrote my dissertation on this unique thing I was doing at P&G. Darn thing won an award, and then I began to get calls from other companies. Ford Motor Company, sitting over here in Detroit, they called me up and said, could you take a couple of days off and come up and talk to us about employee involvement? I said, I don't think you got the right guy. Like, I don't do employee involvement. I do. And they said, no, what you're doing, we think is employee involvement. Come on up. So I began to realize that sometimes what you call it may not be what somebody else calls it. They said, look, here's the deal. We're in big trouble. We have lost $1 billion a quarter for 13 quarters in a row. Chrysler just had to get a $2 billion bailout before going bankrupt, and this is going back around 1980. And we know we have to change. We're very authoritarian. The senior management knows they have to change. They're going through all kinds of training and whatnot to change. The shop floor people, they want to change. We just signed a big contract called employee involvement. It's the managers we're talking about, the middle managers. He said, see, they sit at their desks, and they keep on waiting for Henry Ford to tell them what to do. You know, keep looking at their shoulder. Henry died 20 years ago, and they're still waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. We got to get them start thinking about what they're going to do and get other people involved, and that's why we want you. Then I got a call from Goodyear. They're in Cleveland. They had just lost the entire market of tires to Michelin because they refused to move to radial tires. They just stuck with the old. General Foods would call, and I'm thinking, I think there's a calling for me here.